always look for a way to elevate your thinking. Go to the next level. Take the high road. It's about being a level-headed, having a clear mind to go forward. A clear mind to go forward. You have to have clarity, people. Your mind can't be confused and congested. It has to have clarity.
If you only have 24 hours in a day, your success is dependent upon how you use the 24. You gotta hear me. People talk about Oprah Winfrey, Ted Turner, Warren Buffett. Listen to me. I don't care how much money you make. You only get 24 hours in a day. And the difference between Oprah and the person that's broke is Oprah uses her 24 hours wisely.
He behaved very rigidly even and liked things orderly the way his mother did. Things occurred according to schedules. And there was a reward for good behavior, and there was a sacrifice for bad behavior.
Now he dropped out of high school and started looking for work to help support the family. I did not go to any small establishments, you recall. I was after something big. He found a job as an assistant bookkeeper, but threw himself into it with missionary intensity.
As soon as he starts working, there's nothing lighthearted or carefree about this young 16-year-old boy. He closely reviews every bill and jumps on errors of even a few pennies in the bill. He's amazed at the laxity and inefficiency of these much older bosses who are much more experienced. And I think that was the thing that distinguished Rockefeller from an early age. Not so much brilliant, flashing intelligence, but this thorough, plodding, systematic way that he did things.
As his earnings grew, his ambition grew. He borrowed $1,000 from Devil with interest and plunged into the risky business of commodity trading, buying and selling meat and grain. He was just 18. As the oil gushed skyward, fantastic stories appeared of instant fortunes. Among the Cleveland businessmen lured to the region was John D. Rockefeller. He was no wildcatter. He saw that drilling for oil was a very risky business. Refining, not drilling, he decided, was where the steady money was to be made. Soon a new rail line linked Cleveland with the oil region. Rockefeller built his refinery right beside it. It was one of the first in the city to produce kerosene, a new fuel for lamps that was cheap.
Family might come from privilege, your daddy might own a company, but you will not outwork me.
I shall never forget how hungry I was in those days, he later wrote. I ran up and down the tops of freight cars. I hurried up the boys. Obsessed with the business of oil, he mastered every detail, developed new products to sell. By age 25, his refinery was one of the largest in the world. In a move that would transform the American economy, Rockefeller set out to replace a world of independent oil men with a giant company controlled by him. In 1870, begging bankers for more loans, he formed Standard Oil of Ohio. Rockefeller's soaring fortunes made it seem as if he had outwitted his critics again. Some thought John D. Rockefeller was the President of the United States.
The painted of Standard Oil is a depressing one. No trust of America has been so destructive in its pursuit of profit. We have heard how Standard Oil has used secret kickbacks from the railroads, been routinely engaged in predatory pricing, used intimidation and exclusive sales territories to put refineries out of business. For over 30 years, Standard Oil's been on a mission to crush its competition and establish itself as a monopoly to hoist up the price of kerosene. Mr. Rockefeller, before the court renders its decision, do you have anything you wish to say?
When I came into the oil industry, there was chaos. I brought order. I took a second-rate, inefficient market and built an industry. It was done the way it was because that's the way it had to be done. No one complained when I brought light into every home. No one complained when I provided thousands of jobs or millions of dollars from exports. Oil is what this country runs on. You call it monopoly. I call it enterprise. Now, you tell me, why am I here?
On May 15, 1911, the Supreme Court of the United States declared that Standard Oil was a monopoly in restraint of trade and should be dissolved. As Rockefeller foresaw, the individual Standard Oil companies were worth more than the single corporation. In the next few years, their shares doubled and tripled in value. By the time the reign of cash was over, Rockefeller had the greatest personal fortune in history, nearly 2% of the American economy. Rockefeller's lucky streak was not over yet.